So today we will talk about the group 14 elements, means the carbon family. So in group 15 there are total 5 members: carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. 5. If we talk about their abundance, so carbon is the seventh most abundant element by mass in Earth's crust. Carbon is present on Earth in free state and in the combined state also. In the free state, it is present in the form of coal, graphite, and diamond. And in the combined state, it is present in the form of carbonates like sodium carbonate, hydrogen carbonates like potassium hydrogen carbonate, and carbon dioxide, which is present in our atmosphere. And if we talk about the silicon, so silicon is the second most abundant element on Earth's crust and is present about 27.7% by mass. Silicon is mainly present on Earth in the combined form in the form of silica and silicate mineral. Okay, silica is mainly present in your sand. Number third is germanium. Germanium actually present in very less amount, and tin is present mainly in the form of cassiterite and tin oxide, and lead is present in the form of galena ore, which has the formula PbS. If you see their electronic configurations, so they have the general configuration, noble gas configuration, and NS2 NP2. That means in the outer shell there is presence of total 4 electrons. If we talk about their periodic properties, so first we will take covalent radius. So carbon has a covalent radius of 77 picometer, then silicon 118, germanium 122, tin 140, and lead 146. So you can see the amount of radius is increasing. That means when we move down in the group, so the radius will increase. Next is ionization enthalpy. So carbon has enthalpy value of 1086 kilojoule per mole. Silicon has 786 kilojoule per mole. Germanium is 761. Tin is 708, and that is 715 kilojoule per mole. So we have taken actually only first ionization enthalpy. So if you make their order, so carbon has highest, then silicon, then germanium, then lead, then tin. So you can see that when we move down in the group, the enthalpy value is decreasing, but lead has more enthalpy value than tin. Why? Because Pb has greater what you call it shielding effect. एक्चुअली टिन में होता क्या है कि वहाँ पे डी और एफ ऑर्बिटल दोनों ही प्रेजेंट होते हैं, एंड दे बोथ आर वेरी पुअर इन शील्डिंग. So because of very ineffective shielding in case of lead, the enthalpy value increases. That means it is difficult to take up the electron from lead atom as compared to the atom of tin. And the last is electronegativity. So carbon has electronegativity of 2.5, silicon, germanium and tin. They have constant value. This is the only case among all the groups of periodic table that any element have same value of electronegativity, and lead has just slightly 0.1 increase, 1.9. So it is a very amazing fact. If we talk about their physical properties, so surprisingly all are solids. No one exists in gas or liquid state at normal temperature. And if we talk about their metallic and non-metallic nature, so carbon and silicon both are non-metals. Germanium is a metalloid, and tin and lead both are very soft metals. Now if we talk about their chemical properties, so first we will discuss about the oxidation states and their trends in chemical reactivity. So as you know that the electronic configuration of these elements is ns2 and p2. So if they utilize their only p orbital electrons, then the oxidation state will be +2, and if they use uh, electrons of s orbital and p orbital both, and in total 4 electrons they will use, so the oxidation number will be +4. So the tendency to show +4 state decreases down the group. यानी जब हम ग्रुप में टॉप से बॉटम नीचे आते हैं तो +4 स्टेट को शो करने की जो एबिलिटी है वो कम होती जाती है, एंड टेंडेंसी टू शो +2 स्टेट इंक्रीजेस डाउन द ग्रुप. लेकिन +2 स्टेट को शो करने की जो कैपेसिटी है इन एलिमेंट्स की वो इंक्रीज होती है डाउन द ग्रुप. यानी जो लेड है वो सबसे इजीली जो है +2 स्टेट शो करता है, एंड इट इज़ वेरी हार्ड फॉर कार्बन टू शो +2 स्टेट. एक्चुअली कार्बन जो है वो +2 स्टेट में कोई कंपाउंड बनाता ही नहीं, इट ओनली एग्जिस्ट इन +4 स्टेट. So if you have any compound in which these elements present in +4 state, then the compound will be more covalent or less ionic in nature. But if the compound contain these elements, and if the element shows +2 state, that means the compound will be less covalent and more ionic in nature. So in summarized way we can say that carbon shows only 4 +4 state, silicon also only +4 state, but germanium, tin and lead, all these three members will show +2 and +4 state both. Okay, so I have given some examples to understand this, that in carbon tetrachloride, in this compound the carbon shows +4 state, tin chloride SnCl4. So in this compound the state of tin is +4, बट SnCl2 में जो टिन का स्टेट है वो है +2. ठीक है, तो टिन दोनों स्टेट शो कर रहा है. फिर अब बात करते हैं सिलिका की. तो सिलिका जो है वो आपका SiO2 यानी सिलिकन डाइऑक्साइड जो होता है उसमें आपका +4 स्टेट होता है. और फिर नेक्स्ट है आपका सिलिकन टेट्राक्लोराइड, इसमें भी सिलिकन का स्टेट +4 ही होता है. अब बात करें लेड की, तो लेड मोनोऑक्साइड में जो लेड का स्टेट होगा वो +2 होगा, और लेड डाइऑक्साइड में क्या होगा, +4 होगा. सो यू कैन सी दैट some have only one state, some have variable state. So now we will talk about some properties of these elements. So first is reactivity towards hydrogen. So these elements can react with the hydrogen to form mainly tetrahalide. Like when lead reacts with hydrogen at a high temperature, it forms lead tetrahydride. But if you want the hydride of carbon, so you have to react carbon dioxide with hydrogen at high temperature. So this reaction will give you methane and water molecule. And number 2 is reactivity towards oxygen. So when these elements react with the oxygen at high temperature, they form two type of oxides, monoxide with the formula EO and dioxide with the formula EO2. So when carbon reacts with the oxygen, where oxygen is present in less amount, then you will get only carbon monoxide. But if oxygen is present in adequate amount, then you will get carbon dioxide. यानी जो इनका फॉर्मेशन है वो डिपेंड करता है अमाउंट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. नाउ silicon can react with oxygen to form silicon monoxide and dioxide both, but silicon monoxide only exists at high temperature, while silicon oxide can exist at room temperature. If we talk about their nature of monoxides, so carbon monoxide is neutral in nature. That means it does not react with your acid or base. And silicon oxide and germanium oxide both are acidic in nature, and tin monoxide and lead monoxide both are amphoteric in nature. That means these oxides can react with the acid and base both. Okay. Now next is nature of dioxides. So carbon dioxide, silicon dioxide and germanium dioxide, all these three are acidic in nature, but tin dioxide and lead dioxide both are amphoteric in nature. Now number third is reactivity towards water. So carbon, silicon and germanium are not able to interact with water at room temperature, so they do not react to give you any product. But tin, when reacts with the water steam, it decomposes water to hydrogen. So you will get tin dioxide and hydrogen gas. In case of lead, there is a different condition, that lead do not actually react water in the normal condition, because lead can react with the atmospheric oxygen to form lead dioxide, and the lead dioxide forms a layer over the surface of the lead metal. This layer is very hard and acts as a protective layer. So because of this layer, the water is not able to interact with lead to make any reaction. Okay. Now number 4 is reactivity towards halogen. So when these elements react with the halogens like fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine, they form two type of halides with the formula EX2 dihalide, and next formula is EX4 any tetrahalide. So carbon is not able to react directly with the halogens to form any halide, but the silicon, germanium, your tin and lead, they can react directly with the halogens to form compounds. Like tin, when reacts with the chlorine to form tin tetrachloride, and your germanium can react with the chlorine molecule to form germanium dichloride, and lead can also react with the chlorine gas to form lead chloride. Okay. Now if we talk about the nature of the tetrahalides, so all the tetrahalides of this group is covalent in nature, but when we move down in the group, the tendency to show covalent nature decreases. Okay. And if we talk about the geometry of these tetrahalides, so they have tetrahedral geometry, and the central atom has sp3 hybridization. But there are two exceptions, like lead tetrafluoride and tin tetrafluoride both have ionic nature. being in the being remain in the +4 state. If we talk about the nature of your dihalides, so they generally show the ionic nature, and the ionic nature increases down the group, and your carbon and your silicon does not form dihalides with the halogens, and the stability of these halides increases down the group. Now the last is the hydrolysis of these halides. So the tetrahalides of these elements can interact with the water and undergo hydrolysis reaction to give you tetrahydroxide and hydrogen halide. But carbon is not able to interact with water to get hydrolyzed. Now the question arises that why they get hydrolyzed? Because the central atom can accommodate the lone pair of electrons from oxygen atom of water molecule in d orbital. एक्चुअली जितने भी आपके ये कार्बन छोड़ के जो भी आपके एलिमेंट्स होते हैं, सिलिकॉन, जर्मेनियम, टिन, लेड, इनके पास जो है वो डी ऑर्बिटल होता है. तो और ये जो डी ऑर्बिटल होता है इसमें स्पेस होता है कि वो किसी इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर को एक्सेप्ट कर सके. तो जब ये वाटर से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं तो वाटर मॉलिक्यूल जो होता है वो स्प्लिट होता है आपके H+ आयन और OH- आयन में. अब OH- जो आयन होता है वो एक्ट करता है एज अ लुईस base, as an electron donor. So your hydroxide ion is more reactive ion than your chloride ion. So that's why during reaction the hydroxide ion replaces the halogen ions from your molecule. So you can see that when water interacts with the silicon tetrahalide, it replaces the chlorine atom one by one, and then at the end replaces all the chlorine atom to form silicic acid. तो ऐसा बाकी हैलाइड्स में भी होता है. So I think it is sufficient for you today. If you have any doubt, you can ask to me. Thank you so much.